Well, explain it, dog.
Let me explain it.
Clear it out.
So I put out a community post and it was pretty concise. I really just didn't want to I don't know why I don't explain myself no more to people.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's really no point.
Exactly.
In all reality, he's like fake smiling under there.
Nigga, come on.
On a real note though, no matter what I say here, so many people will not hear it.
They not.
And I'll just be asked the same question again.
Over and over.
So you kind of have to repeat yourself a lot before everybody knows.
Yep.
So think about it. If I say Riz and it gets really popular,
Of course.
you actually have to say it over the course of months before everybody knows that's your thing and that's how you feel and that's what you believe.
Riz.
So in the same sense, I basically just didn't make an effort to really explain myself because I didn't think it was going to be fully understood and heard. But I just kind of
here now though.
Yeah, man. What's the main 2 points? I stopped having fun.
Okay.
Not that I stopped having fun. It's just my other channels were surpassing it in fun levels by such a staggering degree. So I'd go do an AEP shoot, have a phenomenal time. I'd go do playback shoot. We'd be dying laughing. I'd go do an Agent Zero shoot and I'd do some shit I never done before. I put together a masterpiece of a video and I'm just having a blast. And I come on the podcast and it's just like, there was something about it that wasn't as fun. So, I mean, just think about the appeal for the podcast to me personally was a couple things. That's what I told you.
It felt like playing 2K?
Nah, that would be way worse. Jesus.
You just walk out.
That would be so bad. No, so the podcast was a place where I could speak my mind. But now I could do that on playback and on stream. So there's other ways for me to do that. Of course. And the podcast was also fun and enjoyable conversation. But again, I feel like I have that now in other avenues. So I don't know, there's just there's a sense of it didn't really serve a purpose no more the way it used to. So yeah, I mean, I guess I just kept doing it for the sake of. I think people could tell, but it also was quite frustrating that no matter how many times I tell people the beef is not fake, we could have the greatest podcast we recorded in a while. I think that Chris White podcast was the best one we recorded in a while. You look in the comments, don't go to latest, but go to top, bro. It like 75% of that has nothing to do with how good that podcast was. And it performed really well too. But the people that outside the sphere of the people that really watch us they didn't really give two fucks about the content of the podcast as much as the casual person did that watches every once in a while. Which is bro, those are the people I'm doing it for.
Facts.
I feel like if I started streaming and I built up a community and then for some reason it became like a Los Polos type of community. I was
about to say this thing. You think
I would just lose interest so quick.
Is that how you feel like Los?
Because trolling is okay because it makes things fun. People come in my stream and troll all the time.
All the time.
But there is a level where it's unrelenting and a few people get that. You feel me? And I started to see that build up in the comments. So no exaggeration. If you left a comment in the last 7-8 podcasts that was left on this channel, I've read every single one. I scroll through top, I scroll through latest. I read every single one. We only get 700 or so each. I read every single one for each of those podcasts. And so then I sat there and I looked at other people's podcasts just to see is this normal? But it wasn't. A lot of it would be oh, well, you went crazy in this part was hilarious, this part. So it just kind of felt bro, what not that I'm Jeff Bezos, but because I have so many channels, all of my channels could use more focus. Or other areas of my life, like my health, can use more focus. But I'm so diversified in my focus because I'm doing so many different things that and it's the same thing I'm doing with the gaming channel now. I'm taking a step back, just because some of my channels have very high ceilings. I want to see that out, and I need focus to be able to do that. So if something is making less and less sense, why would I continue to prioritize it?
Of course.
And you kind of need to prioritize a podcast because when we have guests, you need to work around the guest schedule. Some of them are really busy and they only have a few hours. And now I'm bending my schedule. And then the things that matter to me most, like my health or the Agent Zero channel, those stuff end up being if I have free time, I'll get those done.
Yeah.
And if those but then, so this is top priority, but I'm not really seeing, you know what I'm saying? Bro, what the fuck am I spending all this time on this shit for when I'm getting everything and more on so many other of my channels. So anyway, that was just my justification. I'm not going to really repeat it. So I guess if somebody asks, you could refer them to this moment, clip it, and post that bitch on peer-to-peer clips as well. So if people have questions, they could but that's really all it was. We've been doing podcasts together for fucking 6 years. Been a long ass time. We had the original AO podcast, on Google Hangouts.
It was always called AO? Yeah.
And then we switched. We had the Off Top podcast where we talked about basketball. That lasted like 2 years. And
Not 2 years. But okay.
yeah, it did. It wasn't 2 years?
Not 2 years.
Oh, well, like a year and something.
Yeah.
And then we started this one. I don't know why. There's something about doing podcasts that's like really fucking fun to me. And I think like the community.
Specifically with me though.
Yeah, like you're a great person to talk with.
Facts.
Yeah, 100%.
Facts.
Even though as hateful as you are.
Yeah, John.
You're very
nigga. Yeah, John. You heard him with me, nigga.
You're very like you're a good person to talk to with hours about because you have like bad opinions and like thoughtful opinions. You have a good combination of varying opinions.
I got you.
Yeah.
And I'm funny. You say that I'm funny.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
Exactly.
He didn't say that.
But
he
he's
was
funny,
he was
though.
getting to
That
it.
wasn't
though.
the first thing he thought
But
about.
he was getting to it,
He said
nigga.
bad takes.
And thoughtful opinions.
But he's funny, though.
And funny.
You exert heat.
Come on.
You got a good contagious laugh.
But that's really all it was. During the 3 weeks we didn't do any podcasts, I only uploaded one gaming video. It was a sponsored post. I had to do it anyway. And I just got way more focused. I'm not gonna lie, it's been fucking crazy for me these past 2 weeks. We getting packed out the